On today's segment at Understanding the Gen Z, today we'll be talking about the Gen Z reimaging culture in the digital age. First of all, what is culture? So our guest will do well to explain better.
Talking of culture, it has to do with the values, the norms, the belief, and the way of life of people. It has to do with the way people perceive the way they live. That is, it has to do with general way of life of people. That's what culture is all about.
Okay, so in your own perspective, do Gen Z relate to the culture?
Well, first of all, I need to define culture first because you see, culture is a pattern that guides, that structure a group of people. Now, coming to the Gen Zs, they adapt to culture. Let's say that they adapt to it because they don't accept a kind of culture. Why is some people, some Gen Zs ask themselves that why do I have to go down on my knee to greet you? This is a culture of some what they started with, but why should I accept it? They like to ask questions about a particular culture, and if it seems okay, this is making sense, it's not boring to them, it is what they can adapt to, what they can flow with. Okay, they say, okay, yes, let's do it this way. And they can bring in another kind of culture that still seems to be a culture. It's a culture in a culture. So now when we say, okay, what is the type of culture that Gen Z's have, is way diverse. But I feel Gen Z's, they adapt to culture and also create their own kind of culture. Thank you.
Somehow not going with the norms and the way of life that other people or other generations are actually used to. So yeah.
The Gen Zs do not they do not follow the culture. They have a sense of a new culture that they have created, in the sense that instead of kneeling down and prostrating to greet the elderly, they just be like good morning, hi, like life to be prostrating to greet people or kneeling down to. So they've developed a new culture to like adapt to their own mindset.
Okay, so our culture still play a very vital role in the aspect of education, in music, in fashion, and in modesty too. As a woman, our culture plays a role. Regardless of whatever new culture we are trying to embrace, I still know too well that the Gen Z and even the millennial still hold on to the past culture, and we know the value of it. Yes, we understand the value of our culture.
The Gen Zs, they are exposed to this culture through different ways. Like for instance, let's say like exposure to new media, exposure to the internet, or let's say like this internet makes it easy for people to interact globally, not in Nigeria alone. So this internet makes it easy for them to like interact with each other globally and makes them to exposed to this new culture. So talking of putting this new culture and this our normal culture together, so there are some ways whereby we can do that, like trying to expose this old culture to the internet through different way, like posting it on social media, making the Gen Z's aware of this culture, like this culture still exists, and these are the ways you can embrace it.
One way we can help to make our old culture more attractive to the Gen Z is to showcase it on the internet. Show people the beauty of culture, show them how beautiful it can be, show them the entire features, characteristics, everything is comprised of, so that they can see the beauty and think back and say, oh, this is as this actually is cool. Like we would always say, this is also cool, and we can also find a way to merge both our newfound culture and our already existing culture.
The exposure to new culture through the internet has cost for the Gen Zs. You meet new people every day, every time. So you get a glimpse of their culture and want to bring it down to your own, and trying to ignore your own and say, I want to go with this. But it doesn't go that way. That's why I need to come back to the family. That is where it all started, where it all starts, because our parents are the forefronters of our culture. They instill those beliefs, those norms, those values into us at that very point. They tell us that, okay, In the Yoruba land, you know you're meant to go down as a lady, go down on your two knees and greet your parents. As a man, you prostrate and all like that. In terms of dressing, in terms of looking decent, dressing, looking decent, and all is all culture. So I feel if the parents can also make, like she said, make it more attractive, that okay, when you go down you see how beautiful you are. It's not as if you are a slave to anybody, but it shows how respectful you are, it shows how cultured you are, it shows how learned you are, and you know that accords more respect to you as a person. Thank you.
There's this incident that happened in my family. My cousins from my father's side, my uncle's children. I went to visit him, so I was teaching them how to speak Yoruba, and then my uncle said, "Why would I be teaching his children to speak Yoruba? Am I trying to spoil their English?" And I'm like, so what I'm trying to bring out in essence is our parents are, like you said, are the forefronters of our culture. They are the ones that are meant to like keep keep us in line. If you are at a point you want to go out of line or almost out of line, they are the ones to like keep us in line to maintain our culture, because we can't escape our culture is who we are, and we can't escape who we are. No matter how we try, we'll always be a Nigerian, and wherever tribe it is we are from. So people outside our country, they have value, so much value for our culture. That's to tell you that this thing that we don't take as we are taking for granted is something that these people outside the country, like when you go to Brazil, you see people, they are learning how to speak Yoruba. They are learning so much about our culture, about our tradition, everything. So what I'm trying to say in essence is our culture is so important. We should not let our culture lose the value that it has.
To the end of today's segment. Thank you for staying true with us. Do well to follow us on all social media platforms. Bye.